Hey, Creolians. Today I wanted to spend a little time talking about some of the resources that you should probably be using as we've gone to remote learning. I know this is probably a little late. We're about 3 weeks in, and we're pretty close to the end of the semester. But some of you are going to be taking summer classes, so this could still be relevant. So let's take a look at what we're going to talk about today. If you're having problems with your classes, make sure you contact the instructor for the class. I think this is really important. They need to know that everybody's having problems, and this is also, a way that you can get help directly and quickly for the course that you're taking, especially where you're having problems. Then beyond that, there's some additional resources. Now, in the past, I have recommended iTunes University, but thank you, Apple. They have decided to dismantle iTunes and therefore iTunes University. So all of this stuff that was in there is disappearing and sort of going back to where it came from. So I know that Stanford, MIT, some smaller universities, Ohio State, although by UCF standards, everybody is a smaller university. They've got these resources available online, but they're not all packaged now inside of iTunes. So where else can you go? Well, there's a website called Coursera, and Coursera has got packaged courses that are free. Let's take a look. So here's Linear Circuits 2 that I found at Coursera. And you notice, enroll for free starts April 15th. Today is April 15th. Yesterday when I looked, it said starts April 14th. That was April 14th. So you can go ahead and enroll in this class. I'm not sure what's in here, but it's worth a look. And they might have, videos in the full package and everything. Another place to look is at MIT OpenCourseWare. So I went in here and just did a search for science and physics and then electromagnetism, which would match physics 2. And then they've got classes that are listed, and these are also free. Now, when I was looking, though, one of the problems with these classes is that some have got videos and some do not. Some just have PDFs of the PowerPoint presentations, and that is not entirely helpful. If you're having problems and then looking at an outline on a PowerPoint, that's not going to give any insight. So you have to do a little research there. Then, of course, there's YouTube. So if I search for Linear Circuits 2, I find here is a course on electric circuits, which matches linear circuits. And this guy's actually pretty good. The interesting thing is this guy is standing at a transparent board and writing backwards. So he's pretty talented in that regard. The problem with YouTube, though, is that they're standalone lectures, so you have to sort of dig to get them all in order. But at least if you know you're having problems with particular topics, that might be the way to go as well. So here's what I want you to do. If you have any really good resources that contain the videos and lecture notes that you can share for our linear circuits courses, for the physics classes, please send those to me and I'll link them on the website down below so that we can help everybody else out. Now, this is not going to help with the photonics classes because there's a limited number of universities with this degree. So what do you do there? All right, here's what I recommend is that if you were studying with a group of students and you were all at a table and you were doing the notes and you were asking questions and you were showing each other and you were tutoring each other, I want you to do the same thing virtually. And so there's some platforms that you can use. You can use Skype, or you can use Zoom, or you can use Google Hangouts. All right, so what's the benefit of those? Here are the benefits or the pros and cons of those three platforms. So Zoom is a big popular thing at UCF right now. You can have 100 participants. I don't think that having a study session of 100 other students is all that effective. Anyway, you probably only do 4 or 5, so it would be under that number. But you have a limit of only 40 minutes per meeting. So that makes it a little weird to start going in and out of these Zoom meetings. So you could use Google Meet, which is free. You can have 25, and there's no limit to the time that you have for this virtual study group. I would recommend a couple hours at least. Turn on the cameras. It's like you're there. And then Skype is the same thing. So Skype is a tested technology. It just works. There's not a lot of bells and whistles, but it doesn't have a time limit as well. So if you do that, I think that the important thing is Don't be alone in this, especially as we're coming up on exams. Study together so that you can help each other. And that's very important. Is education is really, and learning is social. It's meant to be social. It is social. It's not meant to be, it just is. Finally, ask the professor for your classes to record. Now, I know this is a little late in the game. We're about 3 weeks into this, but it's still not too late. And I think it's important that if all the students in the class ask and they're not doing it, then this can get them to maybe move on this and start recording. So I do recommend that. So those are some tips and tricks that I think will help you as we move through the rest of this semester and then into the summer semester if you're taking any classes. And then I'll be putting, again, more videos together. And if you've got any suggestions, shoot me an email. And of course, if you've got any resources available for these classes, send those to me as well. All right, take care.